Hello and happy Wednesday, lovers. Okay, so yesterday on the podcast, I did this whole session about investing in yourself. I used to actually call this self care, but I think that that's kind of a played out term, and I don't think people really take it as seriously as perhaps we should. I think when we think about investing, we kind of perk up a little bit, and investing in yourself definitely sounds like a more serious venture. And I think that at this point in culture, in humanity, when there's just so much begging for your attention at all times, investing in yourself kind of needs to be more of a serious thing that you actually pay very specific time, attention, and even money towards doing. So I thought it would be fun today to jump on and just tell you about some of the ways that I am currently investing in myself. You'll notice my angle is a little bit different because I wanted to show you behind me is one of my favorite things. I don't know if you can totally see it, but it's my Peloton. My Peloton is my favorite investment right now that I have made in my personal health and well being. If you've listened to the podcast or you've known me as a yoga teacher, you know that working out has been something I've really struggled with over the years. I know that it's important. I've always had a yoga practice, but with just varying issues in my body, I never really loved going to the gym. I'm not like a huge weightlifter kind of person, but I do know that it's really important. I'm in my late 30s now, I guess we can say. So I think it's really important that you have ways of, hey, Al, investing in yourself. So that's one of the ways that I've done it. And of course, that's maybe more of a financial investment. Maybe it's a bigger one than you want to make, but getting something for your physical health, something where you're just taking a break, going for a walk for 20 minutes, that sort of thing is beautiful and it's totally free. Walking around outside is totally free. Getting your body moving on a daily basis. As a yoga teacher, I have to throw that out there first. It is definitely one of the small, but not insignificant ways that we have to invest in ourselves. Another favorite of mine is something I just started doing. I just hired my own one-on-one coach. I just had a session with her today. She's amazing. This is, of course, a business expense for me in some ways, but it's also a personal investment that I'm making because as somebody who works with people, I really feel strongly that it's important for me to always be doing work and be one step ahead of my clients on this personal transformation journey, or else it just feels really fucking shady. I don't want to ever ask my clients to do something that I'm not personally willing to do. That is something that's really important to me. And I know not everybody feels that way, but that's definitely how I feel. That's how I've felt for a long time. So today I made I had that call and I put in some time afterwards. This is another big one, time. Time is something that I think is the most precious commodity that we have. And most people waste a whole lot of it. I don't know about you guys, but I probably spend way too much time scrolling Instagram when I'm not being mindful, Facebook, or I used to watch hours of Netflix. This was obviously when I was single, I didn't have kids. I would come home sometimes from teaching and I'd be like, I've done everything I needed to do today. I deserve 6 hours of TV. And of course, there's a component where that can sometimes feel restful, but it's also a way of really buffering and not utilizing the time in the day. I love to get in bed at night. This is kind of morbid, maybe, but I get in bed at the end of the day almost every night, and I just think, am I proud of the life I lived today? If I didn't wake up tomorrow, would I feel like I used this day and got every ounce I could out of it? Did I give every ounce that I have? And some days, the answer is absolutely. Other days, when I feel like, no, I kind of slipped through the day. Obviously, it's not true when you're sick or something like that. You just need to rest. But when I just feel like I had lots of energy, but I just didn't really invest that time and that energy into doing what I came to do, I don't feel great. I don't feel like amazing. So that not everybody gets inspired by that, but I definitely want to always feel like I'm putting things out there that are going to be useful for my clients, for my students, um, for my family, of course, like spending time and attention with my kids where I'm not sitting on my phone, spending time talking to my husband at the end of the day. These are really important investments of my time and my energy. One of my teachers uses this to help you kind of think about it, and I think it's brilliant. But if you imagine that at the beginning of every day, somebody hands you $1,000 and they're like, this is your $1,000 for today. You have to use it by the end of the day, or else it just goes away. You don't get to bank it for tomorrow. I like to think about time and energy in that way. It's like you get this chunk of energy today, you get this amount. How are you going to use it? Because if you don't use it, it's just wasted. It's gone. That day is done. That money is gone. And this has really helped me be a lot more mindful about how I invest my energy out in the world. And of course, how I invest in myself. So I told you about the Peloton. That's a huge investment in myself, in my self-care, my mental and physical well-being for sure. If you have young kids, you know that sometimes you just need to get on the bike or go out for a walk and get your body moving and just get a little bit of space. As an entrepreneur, sometimes things get uncomfortable. That bike is right there. It's in my office. I walk by it 1,000 times, and I actually really love using it. I'm going to tell you guys something. I don't actually know how to ride a real bicycle. It's really weird, but I just don't. I've never ridden a bike in my life. I have no idea how to do it. I'm not kidding you at all. But I love the Peloton. That's a huge, huge part of my physical well-being, and I really love it. I told you about coaching. As a coach, it's really important that I am getting coached so that I can be at the top of my game for my clients, as well as my family, and really have a place where I don't have to be the coach for myself. I need that space in my life where I can go and get somebody else's eyes on all of my thoughts and feelings and get somebody else to help me really work through that and just see the power and the transformation in myself so that I can deliver that to my own clients. Now, those two things are definitely also financial investments. In terms of things that you don't have to spend a lot of money on, I said going out for walks, that kind of thing. Spending time with people. This is something that is so amazing. Just making human connections, whether it's in your family, whether it's with your close friends. If you've listened to the podcast for a while, you know that we recently moved to a much bigger space. We moved out kind of away from the city, closer to the country where we could have a bigger home. And the point of that is so that we can invite our friends and family to come and have time with us. So this is something that we really created, but it's so easy to just call up a friend and go for coffee and make it about connecting and catching up. I love being with humans. And another way of investing in yourself, maybe you're a little bit more introverted. Maybe investing in yourself means having time by yourself. So one of the practices that Steve and I have been kind of flirting with recently is we've been trying this routine of getting up early in the morning and just having time totally alone to do a workout or meditate or do our thought work practice. And we both were part of a spiritual community for a long time where meditation was a huge part of our life. Definitely more for Steve. He lived in a community where they would meditate 2 hours every morning as the very first thing. So because we have children, we have to kind of navigate this a little bit, but getting a little bit of space first thing in the morning, or maybe for you, it's late at night where you just have white space. You don't have anything booked. You don't have anything planned. You're not filtering distractions. You're not watching TV. You're not checking your phone. It's just time that's quiet, maybe with a tea, maybe sitting in a bath, where you just get to be with yourself. or be with someone that you really love and you can have some silence. Silence is an investment. I remember my first silent retreat. I totally freaked out. I thought that I was going to go insane. I just thought, I don't think I can go 10 days without speaking. And now I love silence. I love when I can just, when I have those like moments where I'm at home and everyone else is out doing their thing. I know they're all happy and safe, and I can just listen to the birds or go for a walk and not have to talk. It gives my brain time to rest. It gives me space to see and experience and think and be creative. And I just think that that is something that is so simple, it's totally free, and nobody does it. Like when I pose this practice to my clients and they actually do it, they tell me it's revolutionary. Like, I'm transformed. I just sat in silence for an hour. I drank a tea and didn't read and didn't distract and didn't have to like text with somebody. Super profound, totally available, totally free. So those are some ways that I love to invest in myself. Maybe there's something in there for you. And I would say that this shift of calling it self-care versus investing in yourself, I do think intentionally I'm saying it that way for you because I want this to be something that sounds serious. When we think of investing, we think of assets and time and money, and it feels a little bit more intense. And that's intentional. I want you to pay attention. I want you to really maybe do a little time audit this week and see how you're spending your time. So if you really are one of those people that believes that you don't have enough time to do something like even as simple as going for a walk at the end of every day, or you don't have the money to make a huge investment like a bike or a big vacation or a big retreat or something like that, make sure you listen to the podcast, actually. If money is a thought in your head about your finances, you can hear about how Steve had to decide once between keeping his car or going on a retreat. And I'll tell you in the podcast what he did. So I think if you ask your brain to get creative, you can come up with ways that work for your schedule, that work for your financial situation, and that work for your energy level, because we all have different energy. Like maybe getting up at 5 in the morning is not something that's really in the cards for you and your life right now, and that's fine. But ask your brain to be creative. It's brilliant. Give it some time, give it some space, see what it comes up with. And if you have something that you love to do that's a real investment in yourself, why don't you just type it in the comments below or send me a private message? I would love to hear more ideas. I want to test more things out. I've got some cool things coming up for you guys during the month of May. And if this month you are thinking that investing in yourself might look like hiring a coach, I might be your girl. I am still offering free consultations to kind of figure out what your best next step is. I work with people for 6 months and we get a lot done. So obviously you probably heard about me as a relationship coach, and that is what I do. But remember that relationship with your partner, your relationship with your money, your relationship with your time, your relationship with yourself, the way we work one of those areas is usually the way we're working all of them. So don't think that just because you're single or something, you can't work with me. That's not true. Book a consultation with me. We can talk. Just send me a private message and I will get you everything you need to know. And this week, let me know how you're investing in yourself. I just did a bike ride. I talked to my coach. Later today, I'm going to make a beautiful meal with my husband for the family. And I'm planning on getting 7 hours of sleep, maybe 8 if my kids are really chill. All right. Have a great day, a beautiful week. And don't forget to invest in yourself today. Take care.